to this conference, and this is what we've been talking about, and when we got off to our poor start, and we haven't been able to do anything about it yet, but it's the key to this conference is playing well at the right time. And the right time will be at the playoffs, because as you said, nobody is eliminated. So, granted, yeah, you'd like to get that straight semifinal slot. That's really always key, and that was kind of beyond us after our first 3 or 4 games. We kind of knew we weren't going to get to that first spot or second spot. It was going to be a difficult ride for us. So it really came down to thinking, just get ourselves ready, get ourselves playing, trying to find a rhythm. And we haven't been able to find a rhythm. It's been a really herky-jerky conference, and we played a little bit, and then we take a long break, and then we played a little bit again, and we take another long break, and just very difficult. When you've gotten off to a bad start, and you're trying to find a rhythm through the conference, it's difficult to find it when you've gotten that much time off. But it's the same for all the teams. So. We just haven't handled it as well as some of the other teams. But like for teams that got off well, like a San Miguel team that gets off well from the very beginning, it's a little bit easier to maintain that rhythm despite the ups and downs of the conference, the long breaks, I should say.
Maybe are you looking for some key players to step up? Let's say Rosel Ellis. What does he need to do to help the team right now?
Well, Ro is playing really hard at this point. I don't think he's playing desperate hard like he was the last time he was here, honestly. I don't think he's at that level yet. And I think he has a level to go, but without a doubt, he's playing very hard. But the last time I thought he played with a kind of a level of desperation because he really had something to prove. And that's a natural, a slightly natural letdown. But I think come playoff time, I think you'll see him lift that level of his game. But for me right now, it's really coming down to Willie and Sonny. We need them to refocus on Alaska, and I think that it's just very difficult for them at this point, splitting their energy and their focus with the national team and Alaska. And I think that's been a difficult thing for them to handle. Sonny hasn't been 100% healthy either, so that's also something else that's been a distraction for him. But we're working with those guys, and we're hoping to get them right, mentally, and especially for Sonny physically. Within this next 2 weeks before playoffs start.
Well, the positives are Joe Devance has been playing and really well, and Jeff Carriazo seems to be 100%.
Yeah, and again, other key guys. Tony has been in and out of the lineup. He's had some bad luck. He had his leg stomped on and had an MCL problem. Then came back from the MCL problem, and then had a serious staph infection. And the doctors couldn't find the right antibiotics at first, and he battled through that and had to miss a lot of practice time. And that's what he's currently battling that. So you could tell in our game last night he just wasn't very comfortable on the floor at all. But again, if we can get him going in the next 10 days or so, and then we can make a run to the playoffs.
Okay, last 2 questions actually. I don't want to say conspiracy, but did you notice that that you actually played the most number of games early, and yet you had the shortest vacation, the Alaska Aces? Do you think that this really hurt you?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I just think it's kind of unfortunate that we were put in that situation. And as it hurt us to this point, most likely, something we don't want to make as an excuse. Obviously, this business, you can't make excuses. It's just, that's a good way of losing your job, is if you make excuses, and losing the confidence of your players if you make excuses. So obviously, we don't want to make it as an excuse. But it has been an unfortunate circumstance. However, if you want to put a positive spin on it, we only play 4 games over the next almost 3 weeks or something like that. Well, 3 games in the next 3 weeks. So we'll be, well rested, and they're going to be tough opponents. So they'll test us. We're going to be playing San Miguel, Ginebra, and Talkatex, and so it'll test us and get us ready for the playoffs. So we'll be a little bit well rested, yet we'll be tested with tough opponents. So it could end up being a good thing for us in the long run. Other teams are playing a lot of games in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be spaced out, so we'll be very well rested going into the playoffs.